Winston Smith is like he's not a weird character, but I will say like after I finished reading 1984, I more or less didn't really have a great like interest towards Winston. It's not like it's a great story. It's definitely a story that most people should read, and I highly agree with it. And I think it is something to behold and treasure and keep in the history of literature and all that. It's just that Winston's character almost didn't seem like a main character, but maybe that was the point. I don't know. Like my interpretation of Winston more or less comes down to the simple fact of how he's more or less portrayed. This worker that more or less becomes aware of Big Brother's influence upon the world and how they corrupt and change things to fit the world that they live in. And when he starts to kind of disobey the rules and do things like trying to start an affair with Julia and everything else and whatnot, things take a turn. He starts to kind of try to fight the government a little bit in a way, but ultimately at the end, and spoilers ahead for this, at the end he more or less just kind of sits down and kind of gets defeated more or less, and pretty much it's like they pretty much brainwashed him back to how everyone else is. And I don't know, I just feel like the way Winston's character is set up, he literally goes through a change in the beginning to try to get away from his life, and then by the end of the whole story, literally has to go back to his old life, and it seems like he's been brainwashed to end up loving Big Brother. And I don't think in the beginning he didn't really love Big Brother. He questioned Big Brother, but at the end it seems like they brainwashed him enough that he went back to loving Big Brother. That he went to loving Big Brother. So I don't know. It's like it almost makes Winston feel like less of a fucking person and more like less like a main character than a person, because what's so special about him? I'm pretty sure everybody in that universe or in the city itself or government has like had that feeling. Like there's nothing special about that. People probably are way worse than Winston, but it's that's all there really is to it. He's not really unique. When I think of characters, it's usually something that makes them stand out more than the average person. But we just literally, the idea that this could have been anybody's story and it didn't have to be Winston's, and the story would not change so much. It, it really wouldn't. It probably wouldn't change that much. Yeah, it'd be a different person's life, but ultimately, it's not anything. Nothing makes it makes none of the characters to me stand out up until like the very end. Maybe that was the point, like I said though. Maybe that was the whole point of the story, to kind of get you to be like, well, these are normal people, and we're going to show you, delve into the world of them and let you experience one of these characters. There's nothing really special about this character, but we'll let you go and dive into this particular character. So maybe that was the whole point of the story. I don't hate 1984. I really don't. I thought it was a really good book, and I'm glad I read. I actually have a copy sitting in my room right now to this very day from my brother. So yeah, it's just a simple fact of there's not something I could sit there and say that Winston won or he was the main character, because I don't like to think of Winston as a main character to some odd degree. Like Winston's just some normal guy. There's nothing that unique about him. We just peeked into his life, and ultimately that's all there really is to it. Yeah, so it's not to make it sound like he's an uninteresting character. I really highly suggest that you guys read 1984, because it's really a good book and it's a really good classic. And if you ever watch the movie with John Hurt as Winston Smith, check it out, seriously. But anyway, that was just my interpretation on things. And you know what this place is, character interpretations. Thanks for watching. Catch you. Crime, 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 crime.